Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how to crochet this beautiful beret. It's all made with single crochet and chain spaces that create this spiral design. This is the front side, so the outside of the hat, but you could also wear the inside out, because you get this beautiful shape where at the sides it's round. And again, when you wear them inside out, you get this nice shape. So we are going to start with this yarn, which is the same yarn from King Cole, Riot, but in a different color scheme. This is, I think it's Flamingo. Yes, Flamingo. It's a decay yarn. I will be using a 4.5 millimeter hook, and you will be needing a stitch marker. You can obviously use the same yarn or any decay yarn that you have with you. Let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start by making a magic circle. So with the yarn on your left hand, hold the yarn, make an X, and hold here. Take your hook, go under the first piece of yarn, grab the second. While you are here, twist, make sure your hook can move freely, and then you grab this yarn and pull it through. And we have the magic circle. I'm going to pull the tail to tighten it a little bit. So we are going to start by making 6 single crochet in the magic ring. So get inside the ring, grab the yarn, pull it a little bit, and then grab the yarn again and pull it through. And we made our first single crochet. Inside of the ring again, grab the yarn, pull a little bit, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Again, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if you hold here, you can pull the tail and the ring will close a little bit. Don't close it too tight at the moment. And we have made 6 single crochet. Now that was our first round. For our second round, we are going to make 2 single crochet into each stitch. So 2 stitches inside each stitch. So from 6 we will end up with 12. So go into the first stitch under both loops. This is the top of the stitches, this V that you see here. So grab the yarn, pull it through the stitch, pull a little bit, yarn over, pull through both loops. And this is our first stitch of the second round. Put a stitch marker into it to mark the start of the round. Now into the same stitch where this one is coming from, we need to make another single. So we made 2 stitches into the same stitch. Again, in the second one, let's make 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2. In the third, 1 in that same hole, we put another. In the next, in the same stitch right there where the other one is coming from, let's do another. In the next one, 1 and 2, and we have the last stitch where we do 1 and 2. So we now have 12 stitches. Now for round 3 we are going to do 1 increase, 2 chain, and we skip 1. So remove the stitch marker from the first stitch. We are going to do 2 stitches into the same stitch. So under the first stitch we make 1 single, and then in that same stitch we make another single. So 1 increase, 2 stitches into the same stitch. Mark the first one that we made. Now we chain 2 and we skip 1. So we chain 2, 1 and 2, we skip 1 stitch, and we start the sequence again. So 2 single in the next stitch because we have just skipped 1. So 2 single, 1 and 2. We chain 2 again, and we skip 1, and we start the sequence again. 2 single into the same stitch, 1 in that same stitch, put another stitch, so 2, and then chain 2 and skip 1. In the next stitch, under the V, the top of the previous stitch, we do 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, we chain 2, we skip 1, in the next stitch we do 2 single crochet, 1 in that same stitch, 2, and then we chain 2 and we skip 1. In the next stitch we do 2 single crochet or 1 increase, 1 in that same stitch, 2, we chain 2 and we skip 1, which is the last stitch. For round 4 we make 1 single crochet in the first stitch, so we skip 1, make 1 single in the stitch after, mark this single. Now we chain 2, we skip 1, so we chain 2, we skip 1, and we make 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then we make 1 single again, we chain 2, we skip 1 stitch, and we work in the chain space, and we make 2 single, 1 and 2. We work 1 single, it's right after here, 1 single, we chain 2, we skip 1, and we work 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. We make 1 single, we chain 2, we skip 1, and we make 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. We make 1 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. We make 1 single, chain 2, skip 1 and 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. So now for round 5 we can remove the stitch marker. We are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, so 1 and 2. You can put your stitch marker in the chain space, and we do 2 single, so 1 and 2 in the next one, and we start again, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and again chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, again chain 1, skip 1 stitch. When you feel the chain with your fingers, you know only one that you skip, and then you work 2 single in the chain space, and this is gonna be throughout the crown of the hat. This is to make the holes, so we work 2 single after the 2 in the chain space, 1 and 2, again chain 2, then skip 1, 2 single, 1 and 2 in the chain space, and 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, so chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2 single crochet, 1 and 2 in the last stitch, and 2. Now for round 6 we are going to do 2 single crochet in the chain space, which is right where we started this round. So let's start with 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, mark the first one. Now we do 3 single in the very first after the chain, 1, 2 and 3, we chain 2, we skip 1 and we work 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and we work 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, we chain 2 and we skip 1, and we start the sequence again. So we skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, then we do 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, we chain 2 and we skip 1, and we skip 1, and we start again. So 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and skip 1. In the chain space we make 2 single, 1 and 2, 3 single crochet, 1, 2 and 3, we chain 2 and we skip the last stitch. Now for round 7 we're going to start with 4 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we do 2 single in the chain space, and then we repeat this sequence again. We skip 1 which from the last sequence and we make 4 single crochet. So we skip 1 and we make 4 single. So 1, mark this first stitch, 2, 3 and 4, and then it's the same again for each round. So chain 2, skip 1, and you should have your chain space. We skip 1, there is the chain space, you do 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and we start the sequence again. So 4 single, 1, 2, 3 and 4, we chain 2, we skip 1, and you should have the chain. If you should have more stitches than just 1, it means that there is something wrong in the previous round, or something wrong at the start of this round. 2 single, 1 and 2, and we start again. 4 single, 1, 2, 2, 3 and 4, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. Continue like this, you only have half a round to finish. So start with 4 single, and then you chain 2, you skip 1, and you make 2 single in the chain space, and then meet you back at the end. So I'm going to do my last sequence. So 4 single, 1, 2, 3 and 4, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the last chain space. So 1 and 2. Now for round 8 you can remove the stitch marker. We are going to start with 3 single crochet, so just after the 2 from the chain space, 1, mark this first stitch. So the sequence is 3 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then we make another 2 single crochet. If you notice, we make 3 single at the start and 2 at the end of the sequence for a total of 5. We worked the 7th round where we were making 4 single crochet. The previous round we had 3. The next one we will have 7, and then 8, and then 9, and so on. So we add 1 single each round. And sometimes we will work these stitches all at once in a group. Other times we will split this group and work a few at the start of the sequence and a few at the end of the sequence. We are going to start with 3 single. We just made 1, 2 and 3. We chain 2. So now we should only have 1 stitch and the chain space. and then we make 2 single crochet. So continue like this with this sequence: 3 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then you make 2 single crochet. And I will meet you back at the end of the round. So I have the last sequence to make for round 8. So 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and 2 single, 1 and 2 in the last stitch. And we finished round 8. Now for round 9 we are going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 4 single crochet. So we start with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, mark your first stitch. Now we chain 2, we skip 1, we do 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and we finish with 4 single crochet for a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we made 2 single at the very start and 4 at the end for a total of 6. Now we start the sequence again. So 2 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 4 single. So now we start the sequence again. So 2 single, 1 and 2. I can feel the chain, so I know I'm close here, so I'm going to chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and 4 single crochet. So continue with this sequence and I'll meet you again at the end of the round. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm working the last sequence. So 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then we finish with 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the very last stitch. Now for round 10, for round 10, we are going to do 1 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then we do 6 single crochet. So we start with 1 single, 1, mark this first stitch, we chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So continue with this sequence until you get at the end of the round. Be careful at the first because it's a bit hidden by the second stitch. See, but if you pull, it's right here. So I'm working my last sequence. So 1 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one 6. Now for round 11 we are going to start with a chain 2. We skip 1, so remove the stitch marker, we skip this stitch, and we make 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. You can put the stitch marker in the chain space, and then we work 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we started the sequence again. So we chain 2, we skip 1, we work 2 single in the chain space, and then 8 single crochet. Continue until the end of the round. So you start with chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and 8 single crochet. So 1 and 2 in the chain space, and then 8. So I'm working my last sequence, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 8 single crochet to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the last stitch. Can you see how it makes this round shape on the back side? So for round 12 we are going to start with 2 single in the chain space right here, and then we do 9 single crochet, we chain 2, and we skip 1. So remove the stitch marker, we do 2 single in the chain space, so 1 and 2, mark the first stitch. Now we do 9 single crochet, 8 and 9, and then we chain 2 and we skip 1, and this is the sequence, and we skip 1, and you start again. So 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, 9 single, chain 2, skip 1. I'll meet you back at the end of the round. So I'm doing my last sequence, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then 9 single crochet. And then we chain 2 and we skip the very last stitch. So for round 13 we are going to start with 10 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, and we do 2 single in the chain space. So let's remove the stitch marker. We skipped 1 in the last sequence. In the next one start your 10 single crochet. 1, 2, 9 and 10. We chain 2, we skip 1 and we make 2 single in the chain space, and you can start the sequence again. So 10 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and you start the sequence again until you get at the end of the round. So I'm working the last stitches of the sequence, 9 and 10, and then we chain 2, we skip 1 and we do 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. Now remove the stitch marker. For round 14 we are going to start with 9 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we do 2 single in the chain space, and then we do 2 single crochet for a total of 11, because we do 9 at the start and 2 at the end of the sequence. So let's start with 9 single. So 1, mark the first stitch, 2, 3, 8 and 9, chain 2, skip 1 stitch, 2 single in the chain space, and then we finish the sequence with 2 single. So 1 and 2. And then we start the sequence again. 9 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 2 single crochet. And I'll meet you back at the end of the round. So I am at the end of the sequence here. I'm doing the last stitches. 8 and 9, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 2 single crochet, and then 1 and 2 in the last stitch. Now for round 15 we are going to start with 8 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, and then another 4 single crochet. We start with 8 single crochet, so 1, let's mark the first stitch, 2, 7, 8, we chain 2, we skip 1 and we make 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then another 4 single crochet. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you can start the sequence again and repeat until the end of the round. So I'm almost at the end of the sequence here. So I made the 2 chains, I'm going to skip 1, make 2 single in the chain space, and then 4 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now for round 16 we're going to start with 7 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, and then we work 6 single crochet. So we start with 7, 1, 2, 3, 6 and 7, we chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then we finish the sequence with 6 single crochet, 5 and 6. So So continue like this until the end of the round. I'm almost at the end of the sequence here. I'm gonna do my last 6 single crochet. 5 and 6. Now for round 17, we're going to start with 6 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, and we finish with 8 single crochet. So let's remove the stitch marker. So we start with 6, 1, 2, 3, mark your first 5 and 6, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and 2, and then you do 8 single crochet, and then start the sequence again and repeat until the end of the round. So I'm getting at the end here of my sequence. I'm doing my last 8 stitches. And 8 in the last stitch. For round 18, we are going to start with 5 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single crochet in the chain space, and then we do 10 single crochet. So let's start with 5 single crochet. Mark your first stitch, 2, 3, 4, 4 and 5. I should have a chain space, 1 stitch to skip. And you might say, but I actually see you skip 2 stitches, not 1. 1 and 2. But if you notice, this last stitch we made is actually attached to this stitch. See, this is the top of the stitch here. This is the body and this is the top. At the top there is a stitch attached to it. Stitches, crochet stitches, do not look like a T, where you make the next stitch right on top of the previous stitch, but they look like the letter P, like this. So the body is here and the head will always be towards the right side, like this, a P, not a T. And this is why if you work a flat surface or in the round, it looks like if the stitch is slant on one side. And this is because the head of the stitch is on this side. So you make another one and the stitch is going to move forward to the right. You make another one and it's going to move even more to the right. So it does look like if I'm skipping 2 stitches, 1 and 2. But if you know that they look like a letter P, the head is going to be on the right side, where we already made a stitch. For example, look at this stitch. Can you tell me which is its head, the one on the right or the one on the left? See, it is the stitch right in the middle of 2 heads. So the top of the stitch. Which one is which? But if you know that stitches look like the letter P, you immediately know that its head is the one on the right, this one here. So 5 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then we do 10 single crochet. And this is the sequence, 1, 2, and 10. And you start the sequence again. 5 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 10 single crochet. And continue the sequence until you get at the end of the round. And I will meet you back there. Now you might even skip the counting while working this beret, because if you are off of one or more stitches, you will not end up in the right place, where you will only have one stitch to skip and then make the 2 single in the chain space. So you can really skip the counting as long as you always end up in the right place. The counting, I mean the total counting of stitches when you finish each round. But you obviously should count the stitches while you make them in the middle of the round. So I'm doing the last 2 stitches of my 10. 9 and 10. Now for round 19, we are going to start with 4 single crochet. We chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 stitches in the chain space, and then we do 12 single crochet. With the 4 single crochet that we make at the start and the 12 that we make after, we're making a total of 16. We just made 15 here, 14 in the previous round, and we go up of 1 stitch each round. So we start with 4. So 1, mark your first stitch, 2, 3, and 4. So I should have now only 1 stitch to skip and the chain, which I do 1 stitch to skip and the chain. So chain 2, 1 and 2, skip 1 stitch, make 2 single in the chain space, and then work 12 single crochet. Or, as I always say when we work in the round, between now these 12 that we work and the start of the next sequence, which is 4, you can count from here on 16 single crochet, 16 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, make 2 in the chain space, 16 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 16 until you get at the very end, where you will make the 2 single in the chain space, and then you only work 12, not 16. Doing the chain 2, skip 1, make 2 single crochet, and the other, it's 16 stitches, 16 stitches, 16 stitches. And then only here, it's 12 here and 4 at the start, but it's 16 as well from here to here. So I'm gonna count 16. So 2 chains, 2, 1 and 2 in the chain space. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4. So continue like this, and I'll meet you back at the end. So I'm doing the last stitches of the sequence. And 12. Now for round 20, we are going to start with 3 single crochet, we chain 2, skip 1, make 2 single in the chain space, and then we finish with 14 single crochet. So we start with 3, 1, 2 and 3, skip 1, chain 2, 2 single in the chain space, and then you make 14 single crochet and start the sequence again until the end of the round. Obviously the number is gonna get larger and larger, so I won't be showing you how to finish the 14 single. I am 100% sure you already know how to do it. So continue with this sequence, 3 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space and 14 single crochet. So I'm doing the last stitches on this round and 14. Now for round 21 we are going to start with 2 single crochet, we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space and then we make 16 single crochet. As you can see, we have the chain space here, so we know that we skip 1 and we have 2 to make. So 2 single, 1 and 2, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and we finish the sequence with 16 single crochet. Always be mindful of the first single after the chain. It's here right on the side. So now you make 16 single crochet and then you start the sequence again. I'll meet you back at the end of the round. I'm going to do the last stitches here. For round 22, we are going to start with 1 single crochet and then we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space and then we do 18 single crochet. So we start with 1 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then 18 single crochet. And then you repeat the sequence again, 1 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 18 single crochet. And then meet you back when I get at the end of the round. So I'm doing the last stitches here of round 22. Now for round 23, we are going to start with chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 in the chain space, and then we work 20 single crochet. And then you repeat the sequence again until the end of the round. So let's start with 2 single crochet. So I have the last stitches to make of round 23. So I am at 17, 18, 19 and 20. Round 24, we're going to start with 2 single in the chain space, 21 single crochet, chain 2 and skip 1. So we start with 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2. You can mark the first stitch. So let's make 21 single. So I did 21, I land right before the skip 1, so chain 2 as usual and make 2 single in the chain space. And then continue with the 21, chain 2, skip 1. So I'm doing the last stitches, so 19, 20 and 21. And then the sequence says chain 2, skip 1. the last stitch. For round 25 we are going to do 22 single crochet. We chain 2, we skip 1, and we make 2 single crochet in the chain space. So let's start with 22 single. In the next stitch, mark it as your first and work 22 single crochet. Continue with this sequence and then repeat it until the end of the round. So I'm getting at the end of the round here, 20. One, 22, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space. 1 and 2. Whenever you want, you can pull the ring to close it tight, the very center, and you can weave in the end. This is where we are. For round 26, we are going to start with 21 single crochet. We chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, and then we make another 2 single crochet. So for a total of 23. So let's start here with 21. So 1, mark your first stitch, 2, 20, 21, we chain 2, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and we finish the sequence with 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, and we start again 21 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 2 additional single crochet. I'll meet you back when I get at the end of the round. So I'm almost at the end here. I'm going to chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then 2 single crochet. 1 and 2 in the last stitch. I'm working a size medium of this hat, but because this yarn is very thin in certain spots, to compensate for this, I will add 2 more rounds of increases to my crown, but then I will finish the hat as a medium size. See how fine it gets compared to what you see here. If you would like the crown of your hat to be larger, you can continue with me. If you are working with normal DK size yarn, your next round, round 27, is going to be your last round with increases. It's going to differ from round 27 for those that are going on to make a larger crown in only one thing, that you will not make the chain 2 that we usually make. The sequence for round 27 is 20 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then we do 4 single crochet. If you are making a normal size crown, round 27 for you will be 20 single crochet, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 4 single crochet. So the only difference for you is the chain 2, that you will not make them. If you are making a larger crown, continue with me and with the instructions that you see on the screen. For round 27, we are going to start with 20 single crochet. Mark your first stitch. 3, 4, 19 and 20, chain 2. If you are making a normal size crown, do not chain 2, just do the 20 single, skip 1. We are going to skip 1, 2, 2 single in the chain space. So you just don't do the 2 chains. If you're making a larger crown, just continue as normal. So chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space. And then we do 4 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. The only difference there is between a normal crown and a larger crown is in the number of stitches at the end of each round and the number of stitches between each decrease. But then all the stitches are the same. You still skip 1, make 2 in the chain space. So I've done the 4, now the sequence starts again. So 20 single, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then you finish with 4 single crochet. Repeat until the end of the round. So I just made 2 single in the chain space and then 4 single crochet. And 4. If you are making a normal size crown, you are going to do round 28 and 29 of only single crochet. And you finish there until I'll tell you to continue. If you're making a larger crown, continue with me. For round 28, we are going to do 19 single crochet, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, and then we add another 6 single crochet. So we start with 19, (18) and 19, chain 2, skip 1, 2 single in the chain space, 1 and 2, and then 6 single crochet. And repeat this sequence until the end of the round. So I have the last 2 stitches of this round. Now for round 29 it's going to be our last round with increases, and we two are going to skip now the chain 2. We start with 18 single crochet, we skip 1, we make 2 single in the chain space, and then 8 single crochet, no chain 2. We are not creating any more holes. This is gonna be our last one. So let's start with 18 single, (17) and 18. We skip 1 and we do 2 single in the chain space. So 1 and 2, and then 8 single crochet. 7 and 8. And you repeat the sequence again until you get at the end of the round. So I'm doing the last stitches of this round. Now for round 30 and round 31 we are going to do a single crochet. So 2 rounds of single crochet, nothing else, only single crochet. So I'll meet you back when I finish round 31. So I finished my 2 rounds of single crochet. Now we are going to start to close down by making decreases. For round 32, we are going to start by making 1 decrease and then 12 single crochet. 1 decrease, 12. And repeat until the end of the round. Now we can all continue with round 32. We have worked up to now going under the full head of the stitch, under both loops. We will make the decreases now by going under only the front loop. This is the front loop and this is the back loop. So we will go under the front loop of the first stitch. Now we go under this other front loop of the second stitch and we do our stitch. 1 decrease and 12 single crochet under the first front loop, under the second, grab the yarn and pull it through both loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2, and we made 1 decrease. Mark your first stitch, make 12 single crochet and then do it again, 1 decrease. So I'll make the 12 and I will show you again. 11 and 12 and 1 decrease. So under the front loop of the first stitch, under the second front loop, yarn over, pull through both loops, and then yarn over and pull through. And we made a second decrease. And continue like that. When you work the stitch right after the decrease, be careful you do not go under here, because this is the second stitch that we picked up, but you go in the stitch right after. This second head is right attached to this. So in the next stitch, which is this one, the stitches that look like the letter P, the head is on the right. And continue like this until the end of the round. If you find it difficult to go under the second one, it could be that the tip of your hook is way farther down here, so you can't reach. So just pull it back and go under. Yarn over, go through both loops, yarn over, pull through. 11 and 12. Now round 33 is gonna be just 1 round of single crochet, and I'll meet you back at the end. Be careful, it might look like if you have to work into this stitch, but the orange stitch is attached to this stitch. Can you see? So we do not work into that one. So I'm doing my last few single crochet, and for round 34 we are going to do 1 decrease and 11 single crochet, and then repeat again until the end of the round. So 1 decrease, remember, just move your hook if you can reach, move it back, so, and we made 1 decrease and then 11 single crochet, and I'll meet you back at the end of the round. I'm doing my last stitch here of round 34, and now for round 35 we are going to do one round of single crochet. I'll meet you back at the end. So I'm almost at the end here, and for round 36 we are going to do 1 decrease and 10 single crochet. So we start with 1 decrease, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, yarn over again and pull through 2. Mark your first stitch and then do 10 single crochet and repeat the sequence until the end of the round. This is another example of something that it could confuse you. We have this stitch here, the legs are right here, and its head is, as we know, on the right side. So here, the stitch I just made is sitting all the way to the right of the top of this stitch. So it looks like there is a space here to go in and make another stitch. But see, it's only the stitch that is tiny and is occupying a small amount of the head of this stitch. So you obviously go in the one next that is empty. No stitches attached here. I'm almost at the end here of round 36. I'm doing my last singles. And for round 37, we are going to do a round of single crochet. Only single crochet. I'm almost at the end here of round 37. Now for round 38 we are going to do 1 decrease and 9 single crochet. So we start with 1 decrease, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we do 9 single crochet and repeat this sequence all around. So we made 1 decrease, now 9. So I'm almost at the end of the round here, and for round 39 we are going to do a round of single crochet. So continue with a round of single crochet and I'll meet you back when I get at the end. So I'm almost at the end here of round 39. And now for round 40, if you made the larger crown, we are gonna make this round and then another few more. If you are making a normal crown, then round 38 is going to be your last. So for round 40, we are going to do 1 decrease and 8 single crochet. So we start with 1 decrease, mark your first stitch, and then 8. And repeat this sequence all around until the end of the round. 1 decrease and 8 single crochet. And as you can see, it's getting tighter and tighter. We will soon start the brim part. So I'll meet you back when I get at the end of the round. So I'm at the end here of round 40. Now for round 41 we are going to do 1 single crochet into each stitch until the end of the round. So continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch and I'll meet you back at the end of the round. So I'm at the end here of round 41. Now for round 42, which is gonna be our last round before we start the brim part, this part here, we are going to do our last round of decreases. We are going to do 1 decrease and 7 single crochet, so the opening will close even more. So we start with 1 decrease, mark your first stitch, and then we do 7 single crochet. So continue with this sequence, 1 decrease and 7 single crochet, 1 decrease, 7 single crochet until the end of the round. So I did 1 decrease, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7, 1 decrease, and so on. Every time I do a decrease, 7, now I'm doing a decrease here, I put a stitch marker which I don't even lock. So instead of having to count from the very start, if I lose count, I know my last decrease was made here. To not waste too much time, I don't even close the stitch marker, but obviously you might lose it, it might slide off, so you make the decision there to close it or not. And I'm reaching the end of the round here. At this point, you should just pull your loop a little bit, take the ball with you, and try the hat on. How do you feel this edge? Does it stay nice and snug, or is it a bit too large? If it already stays nice and snug, you can continue by doing 5 rounds of single crochet with the same hook that you used to work the hat. If you feel the edge to be a little bit too large, you can go down to a 4mm hook or a 3.5 and make 5 rounds of single crochet to create this brim part. Round 43 to 47, so 5 rounds of single crochet. I'm going to continue with the same hook because the edge here is very comfortable already for me. So I'll meet you back at the end of these 5 rounds. We can have a look. This is the outside, so the front side of the hat. But if you want, you can wear it inside out. It has a slightly different shape. Also how it sits on your head. When you get at the end of the first round of the brim part, try your hat on to make sure that this is the size that you want. Otherwise, you can unravel this round that you have just made and make it again with a smaller or larger hook. If when you try your hat on, you find it way too large, you can always add one more round of decreases to close the opening even more. I'm at the end here. I actually did an extra round of single crochet. You obviously can stop around 47. Just try it on and see how you like it more. My last stitch, you can remove the stitch marker, and we are going to do one slip stitch into the first stitch. So just go in, yarn over, pull the yarn through the stitch and then through the loop on your hook. You can cut the yarn and you can pull all the way through. Now get a yarn needle, put the needle under the yarn and then pinch it, pull, hold here and pinch right under the eye of the needle, pull the needle out and thread the needle. So from here we are going to go into the next stitch. So in this one we have the slip stitch attached into it. So we are going to go in the next stitch from behind and now go under the top of this stitch, the slip stitch basically that we made. Go from the top and make sure that you go behind, you come out behind, so there's nothing showing at the front. And we made an extra chain. Make sure that it looks kind of like the others, and you can weave the tail inside of the stitches. Go down, let's see if anything shows here, but it doesn't. I'm gonna go down another few stitches. I'm gonna go actually into the purple color. There. And then you can go either back up. I'm actually gonna go straight here. Okay, I'm going to cut now. Pull a little bit so it's in tension, cut and then pull so the tail goes inside. And we finished our beret. Now, as I said before, this should be the outside, so the front of the fabric, or you can wear it inside out and you're gonna have this other design, which is still the same, but you also get these nice round shapes. The only thing that is visible if you wear it on this side is going to be our decreases that you can see at a total interval of number of stitches, you can see. But actually I don't think it looks too bad, and it could be taken, you know, as a design choice. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and bye!